Hi everybody, Carol here. Welcome. Today I have another card tutorial, and this is for a card called a trifold shutter card. Actually, there are four folds, but anyway, that's what it's called. Um, and the papers that I'm using are Jungle Safari from Echo Park, and you can see how I've cut into this and had a lot of stickers. And so anyway, this is the measurement. It's 5.5 by 12. I'll talk later about the 12 if you don't have that. And I made my first score mark there, and then I'm going back and making these cut marks, and you see the measurements there. And so I'm going to go back and do the rest of the folds, 2 inch, 4 inch, then you skip way over to the 8 inch and then the 10 inch. And so this is what makes the folds. It's a hill and a valley and a hill and a valley. And those cut marks, I'll talk about them in just a minute. They're 1.5, and then the middle piece is 2.5, and then that leaves the outer strip 1.5. But you'll see it as we go along. I'm burnishing these folds and finish up the last one here. This is just a sheet of plain paper. It's not cardstock, but I'm just using this for an example. And so then you make your folds only on the center piece, and it's the opposite of what the other two are. It will become a hill where the others are valleys, and vice versa. And I make this next one here, and I'm showing there how it's the opposite of the two outer ones, the two outer strips. And then that is what gets you your shutter, your trifold, fourfold, quadruple fold shutter card. And I'm going back giving a quick burnish for those outer edges. And so that is what it looks like. A really neat card, and it folds up beautifully to put in an envelope. So now here is the beginning foundation. I have put a lot of paper. I think this was called Bird Society. It was a little 6x6 pack, and I can't remember. And I layered and I layered cardstock on cardstock, and then printed paper. And this one won't come up, but cardstock and printed paper, and then so forth and so on. I'm just showing there's another cardstock, dark green, and it just goes on. And I put a little more effort in this than normal. I could have used this for a lot of different cards. There's cardstock, and then printed paper, and cardstock again. I mean cardstock, printed paper, and then a little label. And but all those little extra details really give it a nice base, and has a very nice outer look. I don't always go to this much trouble, but I just did on this one. So that could be a very sophisticated theme. And by the way, I'm showing that if you don't have a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, you can totally add to a regular size, and this is the way. Add an extra piece to the end and leave another half-inch on both ends to overlap, make your seam, so to speak. So the measurements, you will see, I'm going to pull up a little chart here. 1, 2, 3.5. So I'm going to go ahead and write it down. You have 8.5. You can see the little seam line there. And then the extra piece that you add on, it's 8.5, and a piece that's 1, 2, 3, 4.5. I said 3 just a second ago, but it's 4. You overlap those half-inch, so 8 and 4 gives you your 12 inches. And you're going to cover it up most likely on the front with your decorations. But there you can see the little overlapping pieces. And I put it to where a fold came. That's the reason I used those measurements. I wanted it to line up with one of the fold lines so it wouldn't be so obvious. Now comes the fun part with the stickers. I've already put the little parrot on there, and the flowers. Now I'm going to just add a little saying on this long alligator. I thought that was perfect for that long end down there, but of course it would have to be folded over. So I gave it the fold so it would have the space when the card actually bends. It will fit around that curve when the card bends. So it's a little extra space there, but So now we're going to do the end flap, and I'm going to line up some flowers. I'll play with it at first, and then take the monkey off his sticker back, and then there's another little piece right under his arm, and I'm going to go back and poke that out. There it goes. Now you can see daylight. And then put that monkey. Played around with it a bit, but I thought I'm going to let it overlap, and it will be on that fold mark. So I'm going to have to, again, make a little bit of space for his arm to be able to bend. And then it kind of stuck out, and I thought, I don't care if it sticks out. I'm not going to worry about gluing it down. It kind of gives dimension there. So anyway, now the little odds and ends, the little pieces, the leaves, I'm going to tuck that one under his head. Then stick another one under there, some down on the bottom, and I start filling in. Sometimes I say more is better, but more is more, but sometimes less is more. And then I thought, I'll go ahead and just cut those off. It gives it a neat finish. The others, I don't care if they hang off a little bit. And then has some cute little flowers, and I thought, well, I've got lots of print and pattern, but we can just add some color and brighten this thing up. So, and still a little more to look at. So that is all of the stickers, and that's the way that turned out, and I love it. I think it's so cute. I don't typically do kids things too much. To me, this is kind of a kid card, but it doesn't have to be. And but the colors are usually so bright, and so I loved that. So I'm going to fold it back up. The little end piece there is being a little testy there, but just give it a tweak and fold it up. And that's what it looks like when you pull it out of the envelope, and it is just cute just like that, I think. Then the surprise is pulling it out. So I suppose you could call this an interactive card, although all you're doing is opening it up. That's what it looks like from on top. And then there's your back, and you could write your note on the back, of course, and your sentiment or whatever you wanted. And then I just thought, for fun, you don't have to do this. I just went ahead and put some glossy accents on their eyeballs, that when the light hits it just right, you can see it shine. It doesn't show that much. So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I had so much fun making this, and hope you will have a wonderful rest of the day today. And thank you for joining me. It just means a lot. The main thing, I just hope you enjoy it. So thanks. Come back soon. That's what it is. Fold it up, and then the different angles, the way the light hits it, can make it interesting too. So come back soon. See you then, and look forward to it. Bye for now.